Now let's go to part 3, which is the last part. It says an object is placed at the bottom of a glass block 8 centimeter thick. That means the thickness is what? 18 centimeter thick. If it is displaced 6.1 upward, that means that D is given as 6.1 centimeter. If you draw the diagram, I've drawn the diagram before, so I don't think that one should be hard for you to. So this one now from here to this place is 6.1 centimeter, which is your D. Now say what? Find the refractive index. So N equal to T over T minus D. So that is the formula I want to use. So that means T is what? 18 divided by what? 18 minus 6.1. So what our answer will give us what? So we are going to have it as what? 1.51. This is 26, approximately 1.51. Now, the next question says what? If the thickness and the refractive index of oil, water, and glass together in a setup and respectively what? 4 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 5 centimeter, and their refractive index respectively is what? This is 1.26, 1.33, and ng. Find ng. Now, I will stop this question halfway. First of all, you need the what? The T total. Now, they've given you what? They say find the ng if the apparent position of the what? Object placed at the bottom is what? 12 centimeter. So they've already given you T minus G as 12. The apparent position of the object at the bottom. So you are talking about apparent depth. It's already 12 what? This thing 12 centimeter, which is equal to what? 4 over 1.26 plus 6 over 1.33 plus 5 over 1 ng. Now, what we want to do is to what? Make what? Ng the subject of formula. So you divide 4 divided by 1.26 plus 6 divided by what? 1.33. So I want to have what? 7.68 plus 5 over ng. So equal to 12 centimeter. So if you collect like terms now, you are supposed to have it as what? 12 minus 7 point what? 68588 is equals to what? 5 over ng. So what do we have now? 12 minus 7.68588. We are going to have a 4.314. So 4.3141 equal to 5 over ng. So our ng finally implies that ng will now be equal to what? 5 divided by what? 4.3141. So our final answer will now be equal to what? 1.16. So our answer is 1.16. Number 16. You have 2 more questions, 3 more questions to go. In this case, we have an object at the bottom of a pool, 20, that is the depth, 20 centimeter deep, was observed to be at 14 centimeter position. So that is what was T minus D is equal to what? 14 centimeter. After they observe it, the apparent position, that means the depth, is 14 centimeter. That is T minus D. And find the angle of incident of the object. If the angle of refraction of the object above is 36. So N equal to T over T minus D equal to what? Sine I over sine R. So what we want to have is what? 20 divided by what? 14 equal to sine I over sine R, which is what? 36 degrees. Cross multiply, we want to have what? Sine I equal to what? Times what? 14, this times this. Then 20 times what? Sine 36. Divide both sides by 4, sine 14. Divide both sides by 14. We have this, eliminate this. We have sine I equal to what? 20 times what? Sine 36. Then divide by 14. Should be giving us 0. What? 8396.9. Then I becomes what? Sine inverse of whatever result we have had. Then we now have our final answer, 57.1. So that is our angle of incident of the object. So we are given angle of refraction. So you must know that angle of refraction is 36. That you are looking for I is unknown. 17. What happens to the ray of light moving from a material of larger refractive index to a medium of lower refractive index? Look at it. What happens to a ray of light moving from larger refractive index to a what? Now look at the board, or the what I'm solving rather. Now this is incident ray from a denser medium into what? With a higher refractive index. Let's say this one is glass and this is air. What will happen is that the refracted ray will be what? The ray will be what? Refracted away from the normal. To be refracted away from the normal. And if that process, if you continue to increase the angle of incident, you get to a point where it will not be at a critical angle, where your incident angle is at critical angle, where it will not produce a refraction of 90 degrees. Because it's traveling from a denser medium. Don't forget, refractive index. A larger refractive index means it has a higher denser medium. Then to a lower refractive index means a lower medium, lower dense medium, or less dense medium. So in this case now, we say what will likely to happen again is total internal reflection. And total internal reflection will lastly or finally occur, better still, because it's traveling from a denser medium to a less dense medium. Now take note, for a total internal reflection to occur, there are 3 major factors. Number 1, the material must travel from a less dense, denser medium to a less dense medium. Number 2, it must travel from what? A higher refractive index of material to a lower refractive index. Number 3, Snell's law must be valid. Snell's law is valid even though the refraction is greater than 90 degrees. So to send the image back inside the world within the glass again, what Snell's law, which is what? Sine I over sine R is still valid. So Snell's law is valid during total internal reflection. Then don't also forget that the incident angle must exceed the critical angle for total internal reflection to occur. These are things you must know. Now, at what angle to the surface must a diver submerge in a lake look towards the surface to see the setting sun? At what angle? That is critical angle. It's traveling from the what? It's coming with what? Critical angle. That means the angle at which it was to see. Look at the let's say this is a lake, the surface, and this is what? Normal. Now, if he produce with critical angle, he will see the surface. At what angle to the surface? So that means the critical angle is what we are looking for. So you know your N W, you know your N A, just play with it. N A, the fractal index of A is constant. So we are looking for this angle because it's this angle that decides this one. It is not this one that decides this one. So the angle at which is coming from a denser medium, this is a denser medium, to a less dense medium. So this is a lake now. So you have what? Sine C equals to what? 1 over 1.33. Because 1.33 divided by 1 is 1.33. So we are going to have it as what? 1 divided by 1.33 should be equal to what? 1.33 should be, we should be having what? 0.751. 8. Then C becomes what? Sine inverse of what? 0.7518. And that will give us our answer. So shift sign will give us what? 48.75. This is approximately of 48.8 degree. So that would be your answer. I believe I'll be able to talk about the part 1, part 2, part 3 of all these questions so far. So please try to subscribe to get more notification of our question. So we have exhausted all the questions on a rectangular prism using the law of what? Refraction. Don't also forget that fiber optics, mirage, are optical phenomena, and this can be explained by total internal reflection. So an optical fiber occur as a result of multiple reflection in the rod. Now, this multiple reflection in the rod is as a result of total internal reflection, which occur when light travels from a denser medium to a less dense medium. For instance, glass to water, oil to air, water to air, glass to oil, and so forth and so on. So take note of all these vital points, and I believe you have learned. Watch the video part 1, part 2, part 3, so that you can be able to get all the questions we have solved. So thank you. God bless you.